The cast does.
Yeah. Rob is one of those characters where he shifts from being a character that like I don't have to worry about too much, and like, oh, if I get grabbed, I lose. I'm dead. I gotta be careful.
Now, it is important to realize how familiar BC is going to be with this, because if you are familiar with how the beat works, you can turn what would normally be an 80% kill into 150% kill.
Right, yeah.
Because if you SDI it well, it's going to be very hard for him to get them early percent combos. I believe what it is, you have to SDI across the first arm of the hit. So you have to be very cognizant of where Rob is hitting you, how Rob is hitting you, and then move around that. But yeah, this is Smash United BC, I believe a Texas player given the Smash United tag. And Navi, I'm not as familiar with location-wise, but not doing too bad so far. In a bit of a disadvantaged state, but Rob doesn't really mind too much being on ledge. No. The laser and the gyro both makes it pretty easy for him to come back. Yeah,
for sure. But then the larger hitbox compared to Villager is going to allow for these forward air into nair strings. That's going to force Rob to the ledge, as you're seeing here. Now he's at the burn some fuel to stay alive up above, but Villager isn't a character that's going to punish you too hard off of these hits, so you can reset to neutral pretty frequently.
No, I mean, worst case scenario, you get hit with a triple up air. Yeah. Rob, too heavy to really concern about it at this percent. Something to keep in mind, though, is how those percentages work. I believe it is 40, 30, 30 on the percentage. So you have a 40% chance of getting a triple turn up, and then a 30% for a 1 and 2. So the odds of getting that kill option is better.
The down air actually got staggered on the balloon and extended the hitbox past, I believe, the invincibility of Villager on the ledge, as he was getting up, and it knocked him down.
As a player that has to deal with Luma in that same scenario quite often, I know how frustrating that can be.
That's
because
awful.
You put that out to defend yourself.
Yeah.
You know, he had the Lloyd rocket up, and he was like, "All right, this is my buffer, this is my safety window," and then suddenly you die anyways.
Yeah. So now BC, a little bit of work to do here, and Navi going to try and push it in.
He tried for some shenanigans there, but the Smashville platform just barely out of the way.
Yeah, pile driver not going to get too heavy dividends there. Has to be careful though. Doesn't want to get hit by that raw bowling ball every once in a while. Villagers are known to throw out, but BC hasn't really shown it yet, and Navi is really just playing this out, staying away as far as possible.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, there it is, right there, trying to go for the strike, but that's a gutter ball. But it does eventually get that back air, such even things up just a little bit. But again, yeah, BC still has no momentum in this.
No, absolutely not. And getting with a fresh down smash and another one. Now 75-0. Villager has to be so careful. Medium weight character, but he's going to be dying pretty quickly to these up air soon.
So many big hitboxes that Navi's throwing out that Villager doesn't have the speed to get out of in time. That's why he's so safely throwing out down air, throwing out nair. Even if BC might not be able to punish it, he might be able to get away from it. And you mentioned the gyro earlier. And
we haven't seen
not any gyro really much at all. I think he's kind of he's not playing like super zoning. He wants to be in Villager's face. He wants to push that advantage because Villager can play a zoning game too.
And I wonder if that's a familiarity with the Villager matchup, or is that's just his personal playstyle as a Rob?
That could be like a Yomi thing. Like maybe a Villager is expecting a Rob to play more gyro, and so Navi knowing that is like, okay, I'm not going to play gyro against you. Maybe that's going to throw you off your game.
Psych you thought.
Yeah. The layers, it's like an onion. The layers.
All right, so we're looking at a couple of win conditions here right now for Rob. Back air will most likely do it, as will the up air. It's going to be very difficult because that means Villager has to play that much more careful. We see him just play outside of the range of Rob, but if he's able to get in with that perfect shield, it's going to be all she wrote. The nair enough to do it off the top of it from center stage.
Yeah, that's what light gets you. You're a little too lightweight there to survive that, and that's such a scary tool in the air for Rob. Is nair, huge hitbox, active for a while. Really, not much Villager can do, and it's risky if he wants to try and fight that with down air or up air. That might clip right through those turn-ups, or not even trade fairly for you. So it's something that you can't just be like, oh, I have the answer to this. Sometimes you got to take the L and fall back, or you get killed.
Yeah, it makes Villager spacing that much more difficult.
Yes.
It's something that the character has to do. With this pester style gameplay where it's going to be Lloyd rockets and all of these slingshots and turn-ups, you have to be very careful. You're going to stand just outside the character range, and if you slip that up even by a couple pixels, you can get punished extremely hard.
See, the last game, it seemed like Navi was going, now we're seeing it more, just trying to go up a little higher and stay on another altitude so that way he can't get hit by these forward airs over and over and over, because he's approaching with just short hop nair isn't always going to work when you have a Lloyd rocket and forward air waiting for you. He wants to have a little bit of verticality on Villager. He doesn't get short from below by up air, but he can still hit with his aerials.
See, now building this back up a little bit. Oh, going for the end game there.
Oh, slinking away right there is R.O.B, rolling around and getting caught as a result by these forward airs on BC. Now getting a little more comfortable on the main part of the stage, and now getting a lot of residual shots. There it is, actually catching the tail end of that nair after it already passed and swung by with a nice turn up forward up air.
Something to keep an eye on. BC actually does have the gyro right now. Grabbed it when Navi tossed it on the stage, refreshed it by pulling it out when the stock changed. Villagers can hold on to that for 30 seconds at a time unless they refresh.
Oh, Lloyd Rocket covering that ledge get up there by Navi. And BC just falling right back to the ledge, having no trouble getting away. Again, does have to watch out for that down air, but I think Navi's already played that card so many times that BC's getting a little bit used to it, but he's down smash.
The sequence is so good. So what he's doing right there is he's using the down air to...
Jesus.
But he's using the down air to cover the jump. And then immediately, so you immediately react with the stand up or the neutral or the roll in, which he then immediately covers with the down smash. It's really interesting to see the same sequence go over and over again, because normally in neutral exchanges, you're not going to see identical plays being called again and again. But if it's working, there's no reason not to go back to it. And then he was able to go low with the down air because you saw BC drop down. He said, I'm not going to jump this time. I'm not going to roll. I'm going to jump up with my turnip, and instead caught the down air and was able to close out that stock.
Just under the 4-minute mark now here. This thing's absolutely gotten in the way of BC. Even though Navi did get a nice dunk, BC still sitting very comfortable here on this lead, but Navi putting him on his back foot here, getting a lot of nice damage and forcing BC back towards the ledge. But the second he gets right in, punishing that with
dangerous
a grab.
percents right now. Not quite in the close of the beat boot, but pretty close to it. We've seen decent DI so far from BC, so I don't think he's too worried.
Yeah. And considering how light BC is and just floaty too, he can't go for the R.O.B can't go for the down throw up air.
Oh my god! That was almost brilliant.
Yo, it's Arbor Day out here.
Do you know that side B is actually a reflector?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if he planned full ahead for BC to cut down the tree, but BC one step ahead of him, shields the side B, drops the tree on him, and that's all she wrote. I love the Arbor Day reference, by the way.
Plant your seeds.
Because every day is Earth Day. Every day is Earth Day, but not every day is Arbor Day.
Not every day is Arbor Day. See, nowadays people are investing in cryptocurrency. You got to go back to tree seeds and turnips and tulip bulbs. Villagers clearly playing 2020 out here.
So once we're done here, I'll actually go into one of the fascinating economic discoveries of the 1800s with the tulip crash of
that's
Holland.
Literally like a real thing, and it's like
go do your homework, kids. Go look that up. It's fascinating.
It's actually one of those things where you're reading Wikipedia pages and you get stuck on it. That's one of those pages. You end up reading at 4 in the morning. This is fascinating.
This is a thing? What happened?
Crazy.
Yeah, so we're going to see a pivotal game 3 here. One of the first ones we've seen in a while. These have mostly been pretty one-sided efforts from the players we've seen. But BC looking very comfortable in this game 3. Really adjusted after mistakes from game 1 and hasn't really gone too much out of his way to put himself in a bad situation. We do see there an unsafe nair, but BC stepping out and DIing away from the up air.
BC's not getting caught as often, and Navi is really looking more for these setups into aerial launchers, and that's really biting him in the end here, because that's putting BC right next to him. He can go for a nair, go for a forward air, get a Lloyd Rocket in his face, and there's so much, just like almost like a bullet hell, somewhat, a little small localized bullet hell for R.O.B to get through.
And if you have a bullet hole, if you have a bullet hell character, R.O.B's going to be one of your very hard modes because that's too big of a body to try to fit through that.
Yeah. Not Metal Slug here, so being a robot not going to be great for you.
I'm looking at BC at 79, and despite the weight, villagers do have a tendency to extend stocks further than a lot of characters their size should. So it's going to be a little bit hard. We saw Navi struggle to close out the stock game too, and only got it because of a down air read.
Yeah, that's very true, and BC has very worked around the down air option very eloquently throughout the rest of this set here. Oh, nice. Nice shot by Navi, though. He is getting the spacing back on these aerials. He's getting the pressure on, but he's not getting punished as heavily, so things are still a little more in his favor now. Ooh, nice. I like that. He still has the landing option with down smash. Gotta respect it. Gotta respect it. That could kill him, essentially, at this point.
Oh, my gosh. That fair saving the day. That backer coming in quick. Going to see the kill from this? No, he was trying to land on that Smashville platform. Probably one or two pummels would have been enough to do it.
Oh, this is big for BC. Almost looking for the kill setup, but just pulling back. Nothing confirmed. And now just a hit or two away, possibly, from putting Navi in an absolute death situation here. It's up to Navi. See if he can bring this back, but has just a huge hill to climb here. Not many options to do so. Yeah,
the win scenarios for Villager are opening further and further up. That was a very unfortunate side B. Puts him in an incredible amount of lag.
We'll be back in September again. Nope, he's going to go absolutely as far away possible from that tree. And trying to stay on the left side, so that would force Villager to go on the right side to chop it again.
All right, it's looking like down throw should be enough to do it. Or excuse me, up throw should be enough to do it if Rob is able to get his hands on Villager. And
Dunk City. There
yes.
we go, pile driver.
But of course, the win conditions for Villagers are still there. It's 137.
The criteria has been met, and Navi has to play one of the hardest games of his career, possibly, but it's over just like
That's one of the most ridiculous kills. I love it.
Whimsical.
Just the
even.
stick.
Yeah, that's a great ledge get up roll option right there. He doesn't have to turn around to do it. So that's